Okay, it's active.
The juice is loose.
And we're back. This is our second time recording.
Yay! So
Yay!
what we were talking about in the first round of recording, we realized because I was like, I had the best seat in the fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
And
yeah,
so
I was sitting H14. And Gabriella was like, no, I had the best seat in the house. She pulled up her seat number, H14, bro.
14. Like, listen, when I'm getting my tickets, I say I'm finna be in the pit. I'm like so distracted right now because I'm frozen. You guys are just gonna have to bear with us. Like, it's a Zoom episode. Like, there's gonna be freezes. It's gonna be like vintage. It's gonna be raw. Like, that's how it is.
It's gonna be vintage. It's gonna take it back.
But anyways,
wait, let's show them our outfits. Actually woke up at 7 in the fucking morning just so that we could get prepared for this episode.
Do I look like a child
Imagine
bride?
Me in like your closet.
Nosferatu!
Nosferatu! I was flickering the lights on.
Wait, I can't even hear
off.
you because I'm like literally tethered to these headphones.
Bro.
Honestly, I was looking at the picture of Lydia, like in the original, and she's like sitting on the ground like this, and she's like 14 years old, and I'm like, okay, giving Mormon church child bride.
Okay, that was one of the things I kind of like didn't really like about the movie was that it didn't feel like it, or not that I didn't like it, but it was just something that I noticed. It didn't feel like an evolved version of Lydia in this movie. It just felt like an aged version of the exact same character from the first movie. But I think there were other characters that actually felt like more evolved. But yeah, costume design, I that's like one of the first things I noticed about a movie, and this movie just was not it. Delia, she had the most extravagant looks in the first one, and they toned her the fuck down. I'm like, her as a character from the first one, she would not like tone it down, especially now that she's like way bigger in the art scene. Her style would have gotten even crazier. Why is this bitch wearing high-waisted jeans and a black t-shirt?
No, honestly, she was giving, they were trying to make her more like Moira from Schitt's Creek, which is like, you know, her most popular thing now. And I feel like they were just doing fan service with that, because I'm like, she's acting way too much like her character from another show. And I did see someone talking about how they didn't like that Lydia had the same hair even, and it kind of made it cartoony. It's like, okay, like she kept the same hair. I was like fighting because my cousins and brother were saying the same thing, and I was like fighting with them because I was like, okay, but she got famous for this look that she had at the time, right? And she's a sellout. She's like basically being a performer and being herself. Also, I feel like goth people kind of do keep the same look. Robert Smith still wears the same makeup and same hair, even though his skin looks like it's decaying off of his fucking body. And it looks crazy. He looks like an old woman that's been like embalmed and rebalmed. I feel like that's the goth way. I felt like they kept her hair, but then everyone else's clothes was kind of like, okay. Like Jenna Ortega's outfits, I was like, no.
And Jenna Ortega in this movie, I don't mind her. Like, I think she's cool, but I felt like there was so much buildup around like the story of this movie just to build up her character. And for what? Her character, every scene that you saw her, it was basically just them giving the same exact like character plot. I hate my mom. My mom's annoying, or my mom's a sellout. Like that was the whole time. It was like there's nothing likable about her. Like they didn't give her any other character besides the fact that she does not like her mom.
There was no arc. Okay, and then it was like, okay, oh, I was wrong. Like, that's it. That's your arc. I wish I would have seen her a lot more. I actually do really like Jenna Ortega, and I was trying to separate the actress from the writing, because I kind of felt like when you watch Twilight and you're like, these people are like imprisoned in this movie kind of thing. Like, she's a prisoner to this script. This script is terrible. Like, her lines were so cringe. I was wanting to die. Whenever
seriously.
that scene where it's like the funeral, like the woman comes up with her daughter, the real estate agent, and she's like, I guess you can afford this when you speak to ghosts or something like that. And then Jenna Ortega's like, yeah, but nobody really believes in ghosts unless you're trying to make money off a TV show, right, Mom?
And that was it. That was every line of hers. Every time it was like her scene, I was like, all right, I'm phasing out. And then Beetlejuice would come on and I'm like, all right, I'm back in. Like, no. I'm literally like,
yeah, we talked about it the first time, but you gave it 2.5 stars. I gave it 3.5 stars. Honestly, at least 1.5 stars is because of the Beetlejuice scenes, because I thought they were so good. Like, I thought they were so good that it saved a lot of the movie. His scenes were so true to the original vibe of the original movie, just like full of whimsy in an other world. It was really good.
No, it was fantastic. The prosthetics were amazing, and I feel like we got to see more of what Beetlejuice can do. Like, he was actually like more of a comical version of himself too. We got to see a lot more of like him messing, like fucking around with other people, his guts spilling out. Like, we got to see updated versions of things that he tried to do in the first one, like his head spinning around and shit like that. Like, every scene with him, fucking amazing. But that's why I gave it 2.5 stars, because I'm like, well, I received like half of a movie, so I'm gonna give it half the stars, because the other like everything else about it, I'm like, the storyline, like, what the fuck was the point of this Dolores bitch?
Dude, I was just about to say that.
I swear, I feel like her character was created just to give Willem Dafoe a role in the movie. It was just for that.
Which I love Willem Dafoe. And I literally feel like on the second watch is where I realized that there was no point of him being there.
Absolutely no point.
0 point of that woman being there. Monica Bellucci, I get it. She's sexy and she's dating Tim. So that's why she's in the movie. But like all of that was so weird. And then like even the scene with Danny DeVito, like, it was funny and I loved the soundtrack. That the music in the movie was so good to me. It was like so 70s. It was really good. But that whole scene of her building her body back together, it went on for so long.
No, yeah, there were some scenes that just dragged on for a while. Like, why was Jenna Ortega riding her bike for 5 fucking minutes? Bro.
I wanted to say that it would have been such a cool twist if Jenna died when she was riding her bike and she almost got hit by a car. Like, the 5th car should have been the one. That would have just made it a more interesting story. And Gabriella even agreed, and she was like, yeah, it would have been cool if she died and then Lydia had to go to the underworld and actually marry Beetlejuice so that she could stay with her. Come on, like, we need to be on the storyboard. Like, we need to be at these tables, because these bitches don't know how to do it.
I feel like Danny DeVito's role was more impactful than Willem Dafoe's. Like, I don't know why. I'm like, I actually liked Danny DeVito when he popped up. Like, literally opening scene from the very first shot, I was like, oh, that's Danny. I fucking know his ass from any angle. And I was actually really happy to see him.
I wish he was in it a little bit more. I was like, he's a good actor to just like, especially a comedic actor. He would have been so funny to have throughout.
It was funny, and I could not help but like picture him as his Sunny in Philadelphia character, like dying from drinking that shit, because that's something him and Charlie would do. They're always fucking sniffing glue, drinking paint.
No, it was reminding me so much of that episode where he's like wants to be clean and he's like bathing around in the hand sanitizer.
I just want to be pure.
I mean, I liked it. It was a good opener. It was a good hook. Like, oh, Danny DeVito. And then you're like, oh, he's dead. But then like the Monica Bellucci, what did that help the story? Dude, where did that help the story whatsoever?
It felt like it was just planted in the very beginning, just so that it could like have a very quick resolution at the end. It was like, oh yeah, by the way, she's gonna end the film all of a sudden. Okay.
I mean, honestly, I could see it if there was like more interaction with her with the other characters, where it's like, oh, there's this soul sucker and we have to do all of this. Wow, Beetlejuice could die and not be able to help us. Like, yeah, maybe Beetlejuice should have almost died or something to give me that this was like high stakes. I don't feel like this is high stakes at all, other than she just killed Bob. Justice for Bob. like R.I.P. Like, why did he have to die?
Right. It was so like just everything was kind of just like jumping around.
Right.
Yeah, story sucks, but I mean, they had so much potential to fuck it up, and considering how much more potential they had to fuck it up, it was still an enjoyable watch. Like
No,
I
that's
still
why I think that's why I rated it kind of a little bit high. I'm like, for a second movie, for a movie that came out like 30
40
years
years
ago,
ago.
almost 40.
Almost 40,
That's
I
like
think.
pretty impressive.
No, I actually liked it. I think there are so many elements, especially like the set designs, and like it was very comical and it felt very Tim Burton. And yeah, it was very playful. It's definitely like a family movie too. So it wasn't bad. Like it
No.
was considerably, they did a decent job. I actually don't really care for when movies though, like I felt like in the first one, it was like, hey, there's this couple. They introduced the couple, you understand their dynamic off of the first like couple minutes of the film. Boom, they already
Mhm.
died. They're in this new world. You know exactly what's happening. You're watching the movie through the
Right.
Maitland's eyes. But I felt like they were trying to give so much more depth to each individual character when it was like that was never necessary to begin with. And they
Right.
tried to add like a message to it at the end. Like, but what was the message? Oh, it just turns out that you were wrong about your mom seeing ghosts. Like
There was
they were trying to
it
make
was
it
no
deep.
payoff.
There was no payoff. It should have just, instead of like trying to make it heartfelt at the end or something, just make it pure entertainment. That's really what it should
Right.
be, anyways. That's really what the first one was too. It's like just I like the tricks that he does. I like when they introduce like the prosthetics in this, the effects, amazing. They
Amazing.
actually
It
did
was
so
really
good.
fucking good. It was really good. I think that's what I was like taken by. But I agree. This movie suffered from having way too many fucking characters. Danny
Yeah.
DeVito, Monica Bellucci. Now you got this fucking Willem Dafoe cop guy. Now you got the Bobs. Now you have Beetlejuice. Now you have Lydia,
The
whatever,
husband.
the husband. Like, it's so many characters to follow, and then they were trying to have each of them have their own little side thing. I'm like, what is the focus of this movie? If the focus of the movie was, okay, hey, Jenna Ortega doesn't believe, I'm like literally just calling everyone by their real names. Jenna
Yeah.
doesn't believe her mom, so now she almost dies and the mom has to save her. That's a good storyline. I like that.
Yeah.
But everything else around it was not good. Not good. Oh, also, I forgot about the whole fucking dead kid murder guy.
I thought that that aspect of him actually turning out to be a murderer and murdering his parents
sick.
was pretty cool. But their interactions, like I'm not like a big fan of like teen romance, and I don't know what it was about this one in particular. It was cringing me the same way the Twilight movies do. Like you guys could not talk to each other. It's like I mean,
dude,
oh,
I couldn't stand these people. They are the people that I can't stand in real life. It's like as if you went to like a punk show and then you had like the most annoying 18-year-old kids there. That is exactly how it felt. Like her just being like, you don't know who I am? I'm Marie Curie, the one that discovered
the radiation
and got radiation poisoning, a feminist icon. Ever heard of her? Oh,
No,
you have a
literally.
lot of 90s vinyl. Where did you find that?
Dude,
Why is it that
what that
cool?
shit? Exactly, especially considering that this is a PG-13 movie. Like, why do you have shit that's relatable to literal 8-year-olds? Like, that
They were
is the type
trying to
of
be relatable to like the people that liked it originally, which would be older people, and then now we're just trying to get like little kids to like it. I mean,
no.
I tried to watch the Wednesday show, and I feel like this had the same vibe. I could not watch that show. It was for little kids. I was like, this is for little kids. This is not for
Yeah.
adults. And I felt like they were trying to like reprise Jenna's role as Wednesday Addams.
And tell me why the guy that she's dating in this movie literally looks like the exact same dude from Wednesday. Yes,
I don't even
it's like
remember.
the same characters. I'm like, I know Tim Burton likes to reuse his characters, but yeah, she plays such a prominent role as Wednesday. I just don't really like when you see the same person in a somewhat similar role being played again and again.
Even the dance at the wedding at the end, which I love that scene. I love that scene so much. But her dance looked just like the Wednesday Adam dance. I'm like, why is she doing that?
Literally, my mom said the same thing. I mean, my brother said the same thing. We all did. We were like, okay, we get it. It's her again.
It's her.
Like,
everything else about that scene, though, not to jump to the end, but like, I don't know, I was entranced. The song, I maybe that just put me in a trance, but I thought that scene looked so fucking good, and the live orchestra they had and everything. I don't know, I just thought it looked so good.
That movie was definitely really nice to see, also in a nice theater. You saw it in Dolby. I feel like it's very comparable to IMAX. Especially, I loved that this movie was actually set during Halloween. We don't have too many like scary movies or movies that are supposed to have like a Halloween theme that are not actually like set around the actual date of Halloween. So this felt like a very good, like, I'm gonna rewatch this around the time and it's gonna feel on par for the season.
It did feel really nostalgic. I'm not gonna lie, like, I was thinking, if I were to watch Beetlejuice, would I be inspired to watch Beetlejuice like the next time? And I kind of feel like I might skip to the Beetlejuice scenes. I might skip some parts, but like,
yes,
I would rewatch this. I watched it twice in one weekend and I liked it both times.
Yeah, I would definitely fast forward anytime it's Jenna scene or the boys scene. I'm like, all right,
gotta go.
Bye.
Wrap it up.
They used Maisie Starr's song or Mazzy Cry. So during that scene particularly, I was totally faded by the whole interaction between them, and I was just listening to the music.
Well, they gave you something. They gave you something to focus on if you didn't like the scene. They were like, okay.
Exactly. They really did. So you know what? I'm gonna give them half a point more. They get a 3.
I loved I loved seeing Beetlejuice's backstory, which I'm like, I don't even know if it's real because all he does is lie, but like the whole backstory of him being like a gravedigger, like it was giving like super old Italian movie. I don't know if you've watched any of Fellini's movies. It was giving like an old 60s
that was
Italian
really
movie.
Cool. Actually, I think my mom pointed out, she was like, yeah, in the first movie they say that when you commit suicide you become a service worker, and her father was a service worker, so it was like, what if there's like a connection there? Like, did he fucking throw himself in the piranha pit?
What? Okay, wait, that's crazy.
Unless they might have just forgot that. They might have just forgot that they said that, but just like
I meant to say something about Lydia's dad. So the outside of the movie, okay, that whole scene took me way out. People were like saying that they liked that stop motion scene, like on the plane. It looked so weird. I felt like I was tripping balls. I'm like, why is this in this movie? It was so crazy. Like the whole animation, which went on way too long, of him like the plane crashing into the water and him getting eaten by the shark or whatever. But I like thought he was dead. I'm like, why is he not in the movie? Did he just not want to be in the movie? Did he die? So I look it up in the middle of the second time I'm watching it. I'm like, I can't even take it. Turns out he's a
I heard about that like a few years ago, or maybe last year, I don't know, but I already anticipated he's not going to be in it. Also, Alec Baldwin, he's like in legal trouble because of this gun incident. He accidentally killed someone on set.
I know. I won't even say my opinion on that. No, I will. I think Alec Baldwin should be free. I don't think it's his fault at all.
Oh, I don't think so either. I mean,
I think that people saying that shit just doesn't like him. Like literally, it's a prop girl. She is in charge of the props. Like, why would he point a gun at someone thinking that it's gonna go off? Like, be fucking for real.
For real.
They're like, well, gun safety, you wouldn't point a gun at someone. I would if it was fake.
If it was a movie, you're literally on set. How many people have to show a gun in a fucking movie? It's a lot of movies. It's the production team's responsibility to make sure that it's not a real fucking gun.
I mean, luckily you aren't missing Alec Baldwin, because you're kind of like, well, there's no way that they could be in this movie because they're ghosts and they wouldn't age. The way that they just described it, where she was just like, we found a loophole and they moved on. It's like, yeah, they're supposed to move on in the first movie. So it actually would piss me off if they were in this movie, because they would have to like somehow not have moved on anymore, which doesn't really make sense.
And I wanted to go back to what you did mention, the claymation part, and I actually did like that, because I really fuck with Tim Burton's claymation. So even though it was like kind of reason, it was like it felt very random, but I just thoroughly enjoy. I mean, I just love claymation shit in general. So I was like, okay, like I'm down for it. But I do see how it was like very random, and it did make me feel like I was tripping. Like I don't know what it was about like the composition of it or whatever, but it was weird. But I was like, all right.
I mean, again, we talk about it. I always go into AMC High, and I actually took an edible, which was like another level for the first watch. Okay, so like, I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Also, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm dumb. I didn't realize until after that it was like actual stop motion and actual claymation, because I think maybe I would have liked it more. I didn't realize that until I went on TikTok, because to me I was like, why does this look like AI? Like, why is this in this movie? Like, it's so ugly. Like, I still feel like they could have made it look a little bit cuter, but it honestly is a really funny way, especially if someone is a pedophile and ruins your movie. Like, that's what I would do too. I was like, if you're a pedophile and you ruin my fucking sequel, I'm gonna make you crash into an ocean and get bit by a shark, and I'm gonna make it like the most long drawn out scene just to embarrass the fuck out of you and give people enough time to Google what you did and find out that you're a creep.
And your scene's gonna be completely claymation. You're gonna look like a fucking idiot.
Like a fucking idiot. No, it actually gave me the perfect amount of time to see everything that was happening and Google and be like, wow, and then get back to the movie. So funny to me.
Did you look it up like while you were sitting?
Yeah, second watch I was more free. You know what's the best thing about watching a movie twice and having A-list? When you have A-list and you're just rewatching a movie, you're like, I'm free. I can pee anytime I want. Like, I can move. Right. I'm not strapped here. I'm not gonna miss anything.
Just come back tomorrow.
I was just chilling. I honestly would go. I wish I had gone dressed up so badly.
And you have like, I am happy that they brought that dress back. It's like very iconic of her, especially considering that she's wearing pretty much all the same outfits that she did in the first one. Even the at the end of the movie when she's wearing the plaid skirt, they pretty much just revamped it into a dress that she wears in the movie.
Doesn't she wear like a hat too? Like, she wears like a hat when they're like doing that whole montage scene, and that was like, it was so cute to see again. I don't know. I feel like they should have just dressed Jenna like young Lydia. Like some of her outfits were giving like spirit of Halloween or like Fashion Nova.
It was giving Fashion Nova, like some Forever 21 shit. And I think, because they're like trying to draw parallels between Lydia and her daughter Jenna. I don't even remember her name in the movie, but we'll just call her Jenna from now on. Like, Lydia didn't like Delia, and their relationship was rocky, but it wasn't something that they were constantly pointing out to you, and like she was verbally saying in every scene in the first one. It was just, you got it, like you understood the dynamic. But with this one, it was just very, very repetitive. I think one of my favorite parts about this movie, though, that I will say, I think my favorite new character, well, first off, Bob. He's funny as fuck. I love Bob. And also the Beetlejuice baby. I thought it was so fucking cute.
That like was amazing.
Everybody's about to have a Beetle baby in their house.
I cannot wait to see a Beetlejuice baby on Halloween, like an actual baby dressed as Beetlejuice. It's gonna be so cute. Are you dumb? And then someone could dress as Beetlejuice and then be holding their son. Like, I wish I had a baby right now so I could do that.
I swear they just created the Beetlejuice baby just so that they could sell it, because like it really didn't play any other role. And then they brought it back at the end, which, by the way, the end, I'm pretty sure they're like, okay, so the first one was Beetlejuice.
There's a new Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. You gotta say it 3 times, so guess we're gonna get a new one.
Listen, once I get the second one, I was like, I have to have the third one so that I can say Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Like, if you don't make a third one, then you're dumb. And then you cannot make a fourth one. That's it. You have to make a third one, and then you cannot make a fourth one. That's
if you make a fourth one, I'm fucking gonna shoot you.
I'm gonna shoot you.
Like Alec Baldwin. I'm just kidding.
I'm not kidding at all.
Yeah, I will literally pull up with Alec next to me and we'll both shoot you, bitch. I'm like, not that excited to see a third one.
No, I'm not. Okay, but I need Beetlejuice to be in it. He's not even going to be in another one, and he purposefully told them to only put him in the same amount of time as the first one, and I think that was a mistake. He was like, I don't want to go over the top, but I'm like, bro, you're a good actor. You're a good actor. You ate. Like, I could have seen you for 45 minutes in the movie and been happy. I wanted half the movie to be Beetlejuice. Not to mention that he was sexy as fuck. I was thinking he looks even sexier.
No, I kind of felt the same way. Like, I totally understand his point of like not trying to, you know, overdo it since it was enough for the first movie, but it's like, but it's 2024 and like what is the other time gonna be spent on? Me watching this bitch talk about how much she hates her fucking mom? I don't care. I'd rather see you for the full 2 hours. Like, just make this
literally.
Instead of it being a movie about, you know, continuing what this family's got going on, just make it like a little side mission of just what Beetlejuice is going through in the underworld. Give us a whole new cast.
This is the character that we like.
Introduce. It's just a character that we like. That's really all I'm really here to see. I mean, you could bring in Willem Dafoe. I don't care. Like,
it's a strong ass cast though. Like, it's a really strong cast. I just think he just tried to do too much, and I think he also got pussy whipped and didn't need to put his girlfriend in the movie, and then it would have been a lot stronger. Like, I think that honestly was the final straw. Like, that was the final straw for me. She did not need to be there, and it felt like weak writing, and then her having to be in the last scene took away from that. Like,
it's almost like an Adam Sandler film. It was like, you just did this so that you guys could go on a vacation and record some bullshit, and that's why it felt so combobulated in every scene. So
she didn't even like speak because she has like such a strong Italian accent. She's like, Tim, I want to be in your new movie. Please give me a part.
I don't know. I'm forever team Helena Bonham Carter. So,
like, how are you gonna put your new bitch in the movie? Like, if I was Helena, I'd be like, girl, she thought she ate. She really thought she ate. She could never.
Wait, did you watch the Harry Potter movies?
No,
because
I wasn't
her.
Yeah.
Oh, she plays as one of the bad.
Yeah, I think I've seen clips of it for sure. I mean, overall, it was still really good. It was a
really fun watch.
I did like the storyline of the whole marriage having to come back and all of that, and him still being in love with her. Like, that actually felt like on point. Like, that he would still be obsessed with her and like have a picture of her on his desk and like all that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so random. I'm probably gonna get so much hate for this. Winona's veneers are a crime against humanity. The fact
I didn't notice. Hey, I want to look it up.
Could think about. She has giant white veneers on the top, bottom teeth yellow as shit, like she smokes 5,000 cigarettes. It looked like a ham sandwich. Wonder bread, ham, and cheese. That's what it looked like.
Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up later.
I don't know who's telling all these people to only get veneers on the top and then leave your yellow ass busted teeth on the bottom, but that should be illegal. If you get the top done, you gotta get the bottoms.
Yeah.
They have to match.
I mean, like, you have the money for it, bitch.
I mean, she looks fantastic. She's beautiful. She really is beautiful.
She was kind of giving me Elvira vibes when she did the opening scene with her TV show, actually.
I really liked that too. I thought that the intro, it going into a TV show, I'm like, honestly, that eats. Like, that is a way to modernize something. Like, someone just capitalizing on this power they have. Like, that is so realistic. I do think that if you're taking this old character, though, that it was a little bit sad that this character who's like, there's this young innocent girl, she's good, there's nothing wrong with her in the first movie, you're like on her side fully, now is like a pillhead sellout with this bomb ass boyfriend. It's kind of like, damn, why'd you have to do my girl like that?
Right. I felt the same way. Like, she has such an edge to her in the first movie. She was a badass. She was like such an individual, like independent woman at that age. And she grew up to be like a fucking passive ass mom who's a sellout. Yeah.
I mean, she's codependent as fuck. Like, they literally even say it, like, oh, she's codependent. It's like, why though? Yeah. She was such like a goth, like, do whatever the fuck I want. I'm by myself. All of you are wrong. I have no one around me to validate me, and I'm still feeling the way I feel. How do you go from that at like 15 years old to being like 50 and not having any sense of self?
Exactly. That was another thing that bothered me. Also, I was really excited to see Danny Elfman to be composing the music, but the music actually, maybe I need to watch it again, but I was not like particularly thrilled.
I just liked the MacArthur Park and like the song that Donna Summer covers and like the Soul Train scene, Maisie Star.
Maisie Star for sure. I was like, oh,
There was some bangers in there. I can't stop singing the song from the wedding. That whole "Someone left my cake out in the rain." Like that was really, I liked it. It was like really good for a dream sequence.
Because especially they had to follow up with like a new hit for the movie, because obviously the first one was Dick.
Yeah, okay, they didn't hit that though. They didn't hit that level.
No, I mean that one's gonna be iconic forever. They still they had a decent soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh wait, there's something I wanted to say. I was gonna be so upset if I forgot this. Also, this is like probably the most out of order episode we've ever had, and I think it's a little bit worse because we're like not together. But this is so funny to me. I was thinking as soon as I saw it, I was like, "You're lying, Tim. He's a little cheeky motherfucker. How much flack has he gotten for not putting black people in his movies and saying that they don't look good in like his makeup or the color scheme?" And then he does a Soul Train joke. It was bordering on almost being like offensive that you would include black people only in like this very stereotypical like Soul Train thing, but it also was like a double middle finger, like, okay, I'm gonna put a scene that's just full of black people.
It's just only black people.
That was hilarious to me. Hilarious.
I don't know why I'm thinking. I know we're jumping around so much, but I started thinking about the way, and I just at least appreciate that even though they made a lot of things so drawn out and like they were instilling so much bullshit that I didn't care about, at least when like the boy died, it was just like, oh yeah, by the way, boom. He's gone.
Also, and Beetlejuice like helped them out so much. Beetlejuice is like a helpful guy, okay? Yeah. He's sit there, sent that guy to hell, saved her. He genuinely loves Lydia. And then at the end they're like, bye, motherfucker. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I mean, he did just help save you and save your whole family, and you're basically like, fuck off, I still hate you. Okay. Kind of a little bit fucked up. Yeah. Lydia should have married him at the end. Honestly, that would have kind of ate if she was just like, actually, wait, this is the guy that actually loves me.
Right. You should do that in part 3. Like if they're listening to this podcast, very, very slight chances of that. But that would actually be so amazing if he had his happy ending and she actually finally realized, wait, he does care about me.
I mean, he did groom the fuck out of her, but
oh yeah.
He has a picture of her 14-year-old ass self on his like desk.
Yeah, that's actually very true. That's very true.
It's to me it's at least a solid 3, and I gave it a little half because Beetlejuice was that powerful.
Yeah, I guess I could give it a 3. I could give it a 3. No, it's between like a 2.5 and 3. I originally gave it, I think, a 3.5, but then I started to think about it, settled in, and I was like, no, it's a 3. And then I started to think about it a lot more, and then I was like, all right, no, it's a 2.5. So I could see it being like a 3. It's like in between what I was vibing.
I thought it was pretty good. I'm impressed that it wasn't horrible. So maybe that's
I'm impressed too. No, and I think that's so many people too. It's like, well, it wasn't absolute shit, so they get like a half point up just for that aspect that it's
not total dog shit. So like, okay, we'll take it. I don't know. I think we're good. I think the juice is loose on this episode. But I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I wish that I could just do my whole workday in this outfit. Like, imagine I just showed up to my first meeting like this and it was like, hey.
Imagine I showed up to my meeting like this. But yeah, I think we kind of ate that. I mean, great movie. Go see it for sure. I mean,
seriously,
not great.
Go watch it in Dolby. I honestly wasn't even a big proponent of Dolby until this movie. I watched it in GDX the first time, which I thought was Dolby, but I think it's different. The Dolby was way crisper. Sound was so crisp, deep, and loud. Watch it in Dolby. Yeah. I know it costs like $20, but maybe you should just get A-list and stop being dumb. Well, we're going to be together next week, guys. I don't know what we're recording. We're going to be recording a lot of our Halloween episodes. If you haven't noticed, all of our episodes are horror, and it's going to continue that way for a minute because that's all that's out right now.
Yeah, that's all that's coming out. It's either dramas or horrors. There's really no good comedies anymore. Like, when was the last good comedy movie you've seen, especially in theaters?
Well, honestly, we didn't get to review it, and I don't think you wanted to watch it, but Between the Temples was really, really funny, and that's just a little bonus. You guys should go watch it. If anyone likes Harold and Maude or Punch Drunk Love, it is like a big Jewish baby of those two movies, and I genuinely loved it so much. I want to watch it again.
Okay.
Anyways, bye. I really don't want to take this off.
I really want to take this off. I'm ready to go take a shower, eat, and actually start my day. But yeah,
it's almost
thank you guys
11.
for tuning in. Thank you
Thank
guys
you so much.
We're almost at 1,000 subscribers.
Oh my gosh.
If you're subscribed. Like, if you're watching this and you're not fucking subscribed, I'm gonna get Alec Baldwin on you, bitch.
Alec Baldwin is our goon now.
Okay. Halsey, we're just adding. That's our troop.
Alec Baldwin and Halsey. Okay, bye.
All right. Bye.